When the last zombie fell, humanity didn't celebrate. There were no cheers, no victory parades, no songs. The survivors just stood in silence, staring at the body on the ground. For the first time in 150 years, the world was quiet. Too quiet. The Earth was no longer the planet from the history books. Forests had swallowed cities whole. Skyscrapers leaned like broken teeth. Roads were cracked and buried under thick vines. The oceans were cleaner. The skies clearer. But this new beauty felt cold, empty of the billions who once lived here. Humanity had survived, but civilization had not. The people of this new world were different. They were stronger, both physically and mentally. Fear wasn't panic anymore. It was calculation. Children learned survival before they learned to read. Trust wasn't given, it was earned. Slowly, over years of shared hardship. The 20% of the population who were immune became the foundation of the new human race. Over generations, immunity spread naturally. By the time the disease ended, nearly all living humans were resistant. The virus no longer ruled the planet, but memory did. Every community carried its trauma like a shadow. Nightmares were common. Silence made people uneasy. A loud, unexpected sound would make people reach for weapons before words. People stopped using dates. Instead, history was split into just two eras, before the sky fell and after the ruin. Large nations never returned. Instead, humanity reorganized into smaller city-states. Each was independent, and each was cautious. Some were built inside the husks of old cities, others deep underground, inside mountains, or on isolated islands. Their borders were invisible, but strictly respected. Technology came back slowly. Electricity was first, powered by solar, wind, and water. Then came communication. Old satellites were rediscovered, repaired, and repurposed. The internet returned, but it was smaller, controlled, and local. There was no endless noise, no global network of lies. Knowledge became sacred. Libraries were rebuilt like temples, and scientists were protected even more than soldiers. Teachers were honored almost like leaders. Humanity had learned the terrible cost of ignorance. The meteor had changed what people believed. Some thought it was an alien weapon sent to test humanity. Others saw it as a natural cosmic event, a terror born from simple bad luck. A few believed it was the Earth's own immune response. A planetary fever meant to eliminate the species that was harming it most. New faiths were born, and old ones evolved. But one belief united almost everyone. The universe is not empty, and it is not kind. People no longer looked at the stars with just wonder, but with caution. Animals were never infected. This simple fact changed everything. For many, animals became symbols of innocence. Hunting was strictly regulated. Some cities banned killing animals completely. There were stories, unproven, but widely told, of animals sensing the infected long before any symptoms appeared. Dogs barking at invisible dangers. Birds fleeing an area just before an outbreak. Some believed animals had saved humanity simply by surviving alongside us. The crater, the impact site of the meteor, still existed. It was never destroyed. Instead, it became the most forbidden place on Earth. Surrounded by ruins and strange radiation-like anomalies, the crater was sealed by an agreement between all city-states. No one was allowed to dig there. No one was allowed to touch whatever remained deep beneath the ground. Because even after 150 years, the soil there was still warm. And sometimes sensitive instruments would detect signals not radio, not biological, not anything understood. The crater was silent, yet it felt active, a scar that refused to heal. Children born after the recovery were different again. They didn't remember the zombies. They didn't fear the dark in the same way. To them, the ruined cities were playgrounds. Old rusted tanks were climbing frames. Collapsed highways were history lessons. But they asked dangerous questions. What was the world like before? Why did the meteor come? Are we alone now? the elders often had no answers. Some feared the children were becoming too curious, but others believed that curiosity was the only reason humanity deserved to survive at all. Deep in a preserved digital archive, a hidden scientific record existed. It suggested something terrifying. The gas release from the meteor was not random. It was designed not to kill humanity, but to change it. The disease stripped away aggression limits, exposed primal instincts, and forced rapid evolution through brutal survival. The immune 20% weren't just lucky. They were compatible. Compatible with what? The report didn't say. It ended with a single chilling sentence. This was not an attack. This was a preparation. Humanity rebuilt, but carefully. This time, no massive cities, no blind expansion, no uncontrolled experiments. Space exploration resumed, but slowly, cautiously, with unmanned missions sent out first to scout the way. The sky was watched constantly, because humanity had learned the hardest lesson of all. Survival is not the same as safety, and peace is not the end of the story. Somewhere out there in the universe, something had touched Earth once, and someday it might just return. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe for more.